Hey guys, project-zodiac here. I'm back with another video, and this is my review for Madam Web. I'm gonna make this one really quick. I know I said that for the Bob Marley one, but this one I don't have so much to say for it. Again, I'm not with my tripod, so I'm sorry if my hand's gonna be moving around a lot, and I keep forgetting to flip the camera so that it's on this side because I often look over here when I'm doing these videos, but it's here. So I'm sorry if I'm going to be looking this way. But as for Madam Web, so basically the way that I went to go watch Madam Web was it was on the day it came out with also Bob Marley. So I watched both of those movies at the same time. I watched Madam Web at 7, and then the movie ended about 9:13, 9:15, something like that. And then at 9:30, Bob Marley was starting. So yeah, I did a pretty cool movie marathon that day, um, and it was pretty cool to do that. But as for Madam Web, again, if you guys want to see my thoughts on Bob Marley, the link for that is in the description. And yeah, definitely watch that. That was a good movie, basically. But for Madam Web, let's see. I'm gonna be honest. So this is gonna be spoiler free, um, and also at the same time, just trying to think here. This movie wasn't really something that I was really looking forward to because I honestly didn't think that they were gonna be doing like any references to Spider-Man. I didn't really think that they were gonna be doing like connecting it to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Like I hoped that they were going to, but I really doubted it. Like the way that Sony's been handling these movies recently, it's just been more like, yeah, we're making them, and there's mentions of Spider-Man every now and then, but there's no Spider-Man. So yeah, I just wasn't really looking forward to that. Just because like it's something that I feel like really needed to be implemented. Like it's for Venom, I understand that there was, no mentions of Spider-Man, and but at the same time, it's like you can't really have Venom without Peter Parker, because the whole reason why the symbiote is so mad is because of Peter, basically, and Eddie being mad at Peter too. Um, but yeah, that was fine. That was like an alternate version of the story. I have no idea how they're gonna handle Craven. But for Madam Web, I was like, are they really going to not do anything related to Peter? Like, Madam Web is so important to Spider-Man, and if they don't really include anything for Peter, it's gonna be kind of upsetting. Um, I would just say this: there is references, but honestly, I kind of didn't notice the bigger reference first. I only realized it after I looked up online. Um, but yeah, yeah, I think that's the best I can say about that. There's basically two references. Let's just say like that. One you find out at the very start of the movie, and I really like how they handled that. I thought that was pretty cool. But then the other one, the bigger one, um, I really just did not notice, and I have no idea how I didn't realize that was the reference, like the big reference. But it's also kind of confusing. Again, I'm not gonna go into spoilers in regards to that. But yeah, at least there's some references too, but they're not really the best, and the big one is really confusing. Um, but yeah, so I really was not looking forward to this movie. I thought that this movie was gonna be meh. Again, I wasn't really liking that they weren't gonna really touch on Spider-Man at all. Again, there is a reference, but I mean this isn't really even a spoiler. Don't go into this movie expecting to see any connections to Spider-Man because there really isn't. I mean, there's a reference, but that's all really I can say. Um, and then I heard rumors about some things related to the suits, which I don't want to say, but yeah, those rumors were true, and it was a little bit disappointing in regards to the suits. Um, but yeah, that's most of the complaints out of the way. I'm trying to think of another complaint that I had here. Um, I'm just trying to think. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. I have a lot on my mind, still have a lot to do. Um, yeah. Let me think. Right, I remember now one of my bigger complaints, really, other than all of that, was literally at the very start of the movie. I have no idea what the director was thinking in regards to this. It's not a spoiler, it's a filmmaking thing. But there are these sections at the very beginning of the movie, literally like the first five to no, like first 8 to 10 minutes, where the director had it so that the scene was being zoomed in and out. Like you're there, and it's literally like, oh wait, I can't zoom in right now, but it's literally like it was just here, and then it would just zoom in and out, and then it would just zoom in, and then it would zoom out, and then it would do it quickly, and then it would do it slowly. Like I was just like, why are you doing that? Like there was only one shot in that whole sequence that I'm like, okay, that worked for the tension, but that was half a second. This entire sequence is like that. Everything else does not work. So, from a filmmaking standpoint, I really did not like that. I really thought that that was not needed at all, other than that one little split second, which I thought, okay, that added a cool section to it. And then, really, the last one is, so yeah, they do that, and then they don't do that filmmaking style for the rest of the movie until for a few scenes in the big final conflict. Um, so yeah, that I didn't like. Thankfully, the rest of the movie wasn't like that. To give you a better example, it's how if you guys seen episodes or clips of the show called The Office, I do not like that filmmaking style at all. For me, every time I'm watching, I'm like, please, why does this seem so like unprofessional? It seems so, yeah, I'm not. It just seems so like, I don't even want to say students, because like students can do such a great filmmaking experience. Like The Office, the way that it's just filmed just sucks. Like every time I'm watching, I'm like, please just hold that camera still. Stop zooming in every 2 seconds. What are you doing? I'm sorry, I'm so picky with talking about that filmmaking style, but yeah, so that's why it kind of annoyed me. And then really the last big complaint I have, with no spoilers, is the final confrontation just comes. Like literally it's one thing happening, and then next thing you know, you're at the final confrontation, and it comes from that one thing. But there's like, it's just there. Like the final confrontation is literally just right there. It's almost like you're at a barbecue with some friends and family, and this, I don't know, if you're like in a boxing match, comes, and then, or like a mixed martial arts match, if you're gonna be fighting in one, um and your competitor, the person you're gonna be fighting in this fight, literally just lands in the barbecue as you guys are having the barbecue, and you and everyone just start watching this guy come and have a fight with him. Literally, like, it's just a peaceful kind of event. A situation happens, and then it's just, yeah, I'm here, let's fight. Literally, that's how it is. So that seemed a bit rushed, and then there was a few things where you could tell it was definitely cut down for time. But for things that I did like, I really liked the movie way more than I thought. Honestly, I was just like, well, let's just go see what this movie's about. Because honestly, uh, Venom Let There Be Carnage, I was so excited for that movie, and that movie was not. I did not really like that movie. I liked the first one a lot though, but Venom Let There Be Carnage, they butchered it. They did, Yeah, I just didn't really like how that was handled. And honestly, I kind of like Morbius. I didn't think Morbius was as bad as people make it out to be. But Madam Web, I think Madam Web was decent. I really liked it almost as much as Venom. Um, Let me see what else can I say in regards to that. Okay, so yeah, I remember some other things too. Again, I'm sorry, it's only been like 2 days since I watched it, but I've just had a lot on my mind. So I'm like trying to remember what I wanted to say. But yeah, so the things I really liked about Madam Web, again, I think it's almost as good as the original Venom movie, and the characters all did a fantastic job. The fight scenes were pretty cool. It was filmed, other than those sections that I mentioned, it was filmed pretty good. And honestly, like, I was about to talk about the costumes, but again, like, it's a little bit complicated with that. I didn't like. I thought that some of the costumes were okay. Some of them I didn't really like. Like Ezekiel's costume for me looks like it's too cosplay-ish. Um, but then some of the the Spider Woman costumes, they some of them looked good. One of them I didn't really like too much. Um, I don't want to go into spoilers as to which one, but one of them I just didn't really like that much the costume for. But yeah, the biggest thing in regards to this is like Madame Web. She's young and she's discovering her powers, and I thought that that was really cool. I thought that that was really really well done. Where in the sense like she like you start to see her seeing the future events and stuff, and like her reacting to it, and it that kind of thing hasn't been done too much in movies before, and the way that they handled it here I thought it was so good. um Especially because you start to piece it together with her and you're like, didn't this scene just happen? Did they just, and then you find out, oh no, it was her seeing a vision. But then as the movie goes on, you get to see a little bit less towards the end, that happening, and you just see her reacting already. It's like, all right, go here. No, no, actually, never mind. We're going over here. And then you see why she quickly changes her mind. And I love that. I thought that that was a fantastic progression of showing her getting used to her powers. I also like that the movie does take place over some time. I'm not going to go into spoilers in regards to that, but I mean, I wish it was a little bit longer of like the duration of the in-universe events that happens, but I'm glad that they kind of give it a time frame as to how long the in-universe time is going by. And yeah, I thought that everyone did a fantastic job. The final battle was pretty cool, and it was just a good like little origin story, but like at the same time, not so much happens. It's mostly just, yeah, it kind of goes into like you're expecting it to go one way, and it's really not that way. It's literally like everything else that you would think would be in like the first like hour or so, or like even for 30 40 minutes, but then it becomes something else. Or then it grows from that, but no, it's literally that beginning part of what you would expect it throughout the entire movie, and that's fine. Again, when you realize the direction that they went in, it's pretty good. It's understandable. But yeah, no, I honestly was not looking forward to the movie that much, but I really enjoyed it. I had a really really fun time. I even told one of my friends like, "Hey, if you want to watch it, I'll go watch it with you because I did enjoy it. There is some pretty cool stuff there." So yeah, don't let the critics, bash this movie. It's really not that bad. There's a lot of fun, cool things here. Um, and it's an enjoyable movie. Like honestly, it was really good. Bob Marley was a better movie, way better. But this was a very fun movie still. It's not like, I mean, I watched two movies back to back in the theaters in one day, but like it's not like either of those movies I was bored in, um or anything like that. Like, I mean, I knew I was going to enjoy Bob Marley a lot, but like for this one I was not looking forward to it. I was just watching it just to see how it was going to be. But honestly, I loved, I mean, it's not as good as other superhero movies or other Spider-Man related movies, but like I loved what they did with it. It was a really really cool concept, and yeah, the villain's motives aren't the biggest, but when you stop and you think about it, you're like, no, I get it. Yeah, no, here, it makes sense. It's understandable. Like, it's not the biggest motive, but at the same time, it's like, no, it can actually be if you are in that guy's shoes, you know. So definitely, like, watch this movie. It's fun. You know, it's a good time. It's it's not as bad as people are making it out to be. Um, and it's not as boring or as bland. It's just a good fun time. But yeah, guys, that's my thoughts on Madam Web. If you guys watched it, let me know what you think. And with all that said, I'm gonna be reviewing another movie pretty soon, in a few days. And I know a lot of people are gonna call me crazy for that movie, because I'm already starting saying that this movie over here is not a bad movie. It's just a decent, okay movie. But people are definitely gonna be freaking out with the next movie I'm gonna be reviewing. So that's gonna be really interesting to see. But all right, guys, it's a long day. It's been a long day. I'm tired. I still have some stuff to do, and it's very late. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you guys have a great night and a great week overall. But with all that said, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day.